Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Road 3 replay. So on the left side as the Cyan Empire, we have Ghost Killer. It's a 3v3. I have no idea who are the who's versus who. I think it's Cyan, Yellow, Blue. I could be mistaken about that. This one is the Yellow Soviet player. We have Forcenito. We do as the Blue Soviet player. We have Filflat111, spawn on the right side as the green allies. We have FishMoney as the red Soviet. We have K961 as the orange Empire player. We have Obaid84. And not often I hear other music because there's only a handful of maps people usually play, and they usually have the same song. So it's sort of nice to hear a little bit different music. I hope you like jazz. Not necessarily jazz, is it? It's not necessarily jazz, but it's also not jazz. Is there any other types of music that has a saxophone? In all those variations? Oh, looks like blue and yellow are allies, and I'm assuming Cyan's also allied to these guys, so I think it's Cyan, yellow, blue. You got the bear going out to sea. You have a dragonfly over here, burst drone, trying to spot the various refinery structures of opponents. You have this garrison plane. Blue and orange are also on low ground, and their bases are very open, so this could be a point of contention of being sieged down. Same thing up here. Mecha Bay Core not being tasked properly. Do have some Vindicators pushing out and out. Gonna bomb down some of these structures. Soviet player has gone out, Crusher Crane there. Got the MCV, was designed for aggressive expansion. He may want to go aggressive defense as well. Oil deck claimed by red. Nobody's claimed this garage yet, and this oil deck will be claimed by yellow. Over here, Vindicator's coming for a bomb run onto Cyan now. And I still need to learn how to properly pan cameras. Let's get a bomb run there onto the ore collector, but it takes 5 ore collectors to take out Vindicators to take out ore collector. The burst drone could eventually finish it off. It would have detonated itself. Maybe not. Just going for some flak troopers here. That provides some good anti-aircraft coverage. Science makes forward some handful of infantry. There's also another garage here. Yeah, there's how many garages? There's like 3 garages. This map may have been designed actually for an FFA. The amount of garages out in the field, because I don't know if the repair effect stacks on garage. I know the academies can stack in the initial veterancy. We got a flak tower here being bombed by the Vindicators. It does take out one of the Vindicators there. Wait, was the bomb to cut that out, or was the carcass? But either way, both Vindicators go down, and so does the ore collector. And we do have another flak tower being pulled out by blue as well, so it's definitely Cyan, yellow, blue if there was any question about that. Molotovs are being thrown to this garrison. Blue's at the garrison now. Soviet MCV pushing out forward once again. He's really aggressively expanding. He is providing his teammates some flak batteries, which is going to be very handy. And his base is not receiving aggression, so it's great for Blue. So Blue's getting, honestly, he's not taking reading his opponent just right. I think he's just getting lucky. Green's gone for a fast airfield and just going for bomb runs, which are not sustained combat. So him going for all these flak towers is actually going to be useful to counter his opponent. That reactor's on. Let's get short off, but I thought it may have been blocking the refinery location, though. Could be mistaken about that. Yellow's now deploying out Tesla Coil, so does Blue. Looks like they're fortifying Cyan. Cyan has expanded down south as well. Yellow has pushed pretty far forward as well, trying to creep forward. And more bomb runs to those reactors, denying the refinery from being placed. We've now got the oil derrick under siege from the orange Mechatengus. Man, that's bright. The soft focus right there is absurd. And it just seems like Cyan usually gets affected by that a bit more, because look at Blue. Blue's Tesla Coil is not exactly glowing. Yellow's ever so slightly. So I think the lighter color is, the more blur, while the darker colors don't shine as much, which sort of does make sense. Road 3 has an issue with having bright things being too bright, especially in dark backgrounds. I am not joking where it is actually a seizure hazard for watching all the explosions when you're on the C sections, because it's a dark blue background with like bright blue or bright yellow explosions. This game has some sizable seizure hazards, and I will stand by that. It's the biggest issue with this game. Ore collector is receiving quite a bit of fire. It will go down. Does get the sell off on the refinery. Helpful jet tank is flying about. You got a single flak trooper comes support. There is a handful of flak troopers inside the scare, so gets good damage there. Zion does get some pursuit damage. Of course, he's way outnumbered, so can't really pursue for too far. Red's now expand down to the center. Sickle does jump away. Sickle versus Sickle does gun down some of these forces. Red Sickle does go down. Blue Sickle likely will lose out. Got Twin Blade here, trying to engage these forces. Will be able to get some good damage on in. And looks like Blue's Bullfrog managed to push forward to engage Red's Twin Blade, into which he could have finished off that Hammer Tank Bullfrog, no problem. There was a couple bullets from death. And Cyan does get a receiving effect there, but now just basically down to one Mega Tengu once that infection finished off that unit. That Terror Drone can get another infection there. Very nice. But you got Orange expanding up north. Does have a naval yard as well. Orange hasn't really made any aggressive plays, or really any plays, other than some Mega Tengus. Bombing run there does take out the Ore Collector, no problem. He didn't have time to up armor it. That is a little bit overkill on Vindicator, so we need 5. I hear a final squadron. Maybe he has 5. It takes 5 Vindicators with 3 bombs each, but it will take a little bit more if he only has 2 bombs each. It will take, let's see, 5 is 15 bombs, while you will need 8 Vindicators with 2 bombs. But that was only 7 Vindicators that went forward. Aerodrome may get an infect there on the MCV, does get an infect there on the MCV. The MCV has plenty of time to get back for repairs. Cyan is expanding out once again. That may be not a good idea, but if you could claim this refinery, that wouldn't be half bad. Dry dock could be useful, as well as garages for either team. Looks like, I think there's a reactor going down there. Do have some more defenses being pulled on out. Up north, looks like... Was that a refinery core? Or, oh, number of cores going down. I don't know why, that looked like a dojo core to me at first, but maybe I was mistaken. And that refinery core is actually fully dead, so that was a refinery core. Oh, he is sell off that... Oh, no, he was in range of the Crusher Crane. I always forget the Crusher Crane actually has a very good repair radius. Vindicator's coming for a bombing run there. Gets some good bombing runs. Takes out 2 of those flak towers. Typically wounds the reactor. Did any of those Vindicators go down? Maybe one. Bullfrog's advancing forward. Gets some good damage there on those Jet Tengus. Orange does not respond to it. And now he's on the high ground, so he's out of vision range. As he flew down to the low ground, he was revealed. Good damage there onto the Bullfrog. Does take out the Bullfrog there. Trying to back off to the high ground, and all goes down there. I do hear a final squadron. This is Cyan trying to deal with this housing. Blue has expanded out south once again, and his teammate deployed a battle lab way in the corner that can be very safe or very not safe. Depends on the naval aggression, but no site's really deploying a lot of naval. We do got a good number of tsunami tanks. And now we do have a handful of Yori mini subs. Well, I suppose that is naval, but not the naval I was referenced for. Blue does have a pretty good amount of infrastructure in the bottom right, at least defenses. Satellites do rain on in. Looks like they're trying to hit those tsunami tanks. Red's facing forward. There's no Bullfrogs treason. Do got some Chopper VXs as well. So this force by Team Left Side will be cleaned up. We got a single Bullfrog here, getting some great flak damage. And those twin blades not having rockets up and going, but those none of them went down, so may want to fall back, get some repairs. We have, of course, a Tesla coil here, and probably a little bit too many flak towers, but it will prevent those Vindicators you've been having trouble with. Couple laser locks pushing way forward against good damage there on the blue. Blue has not. Oh! I was gonna say, blue has not deployed out a large enough defense, and that's yellow's V4, so I'm still sort of correct about that. Blue needs to deploy out a ground armor. I think he's expanding a little bit too much, and maybe putting too much in the, static structures. Oop. Blue's refinery seemed a bit too much there. Bear does get a nice roar there. V4 in pursuit, and he's actually skipping those two he roared. We have some satellites being pulled out. I'm not sure. Right there. Okay, not sure why it's right there. We got a cryo shot there for some odd reason. V4 is now siege down this house. This house. I like it's a mix between like Spanish, so it's like more like a Caribbean Spanish colony style house, isn't it? Maybe Corsican house style? Never mind. What am I saying? I'm just American who doesn't know much about foreign houses. We do have a large number of Yari mini subs here and a lot of Naginata cruisers. We do got a good amount of damage on this dreadnought. A lot of torpedoes now breaching the hull of that dreadnought. We do have some good V4 hits there. We do have a defense of a Tesla coil here, which will do have, maybe it'll protect, and probably won't be able to protect these cores so too much. We got another Tesla coil being focused down there, very nice. And some of these Naginata cruisers are seeing a bit of fire. Naginata cruisers are quite durable. We do have a final voyage there, and we've got a sacrificial launch as well. Taking opportunities to spunk go loose, it, so might as well fire as much as possible. Does have a discharge there by this Stingray getting some great AoE damage. While those Naginata cruisers are severely wounded, and needs to put these guys aggressive to engage those buildings aggressively. War Collector does go down to these mass twin blade, good escort of MiGs as well. And it looks like Blue's extractor. Ooh! That was a final voyage. He killed off a couple of Naginata cruisers with a final voyage. Naginata cruisers seeing quite a bit of fire. Oh, I thought his horse was on the ground for some reason, but let's take out a flak trooper there. Sells out infrastructure there, sells off the Sputnik, and the V4 will not be sold off. And the flak trooper won't be sold off as well. We got final Squadron X being deployed on out. Bullfrog advanced squad gets good damage there. Final Squadron, perhaps trying to hit this infrastructure. Getting some damage there. Now we do have some Apocalypse tanks deployed out by yellow. Down south, orange's naval force still advancing forward. And this location managed to fend off some one. Fresh Tesla coils did do that. You could sell off that one. That's not going to be a very useful one. The Army subs and Naginata cruisers advance forward. There's also a Sputnik down south, which will be driven past, so it can be a bit hard to see. And now we've got a big wave of defense coming forward. We've got a battle lab as well out here. Yellow's battle lab will be safe, barring the explosion from the super reactor. Blue has a super reactor or a battle lab here. Tesla coil going on up. He does have enough power for it. Over here looks like got rocket angels deployed on out and sentry bombers. Got a mix of unusual items. Bomb run coming on forward. Try to go for that Apocalypse tanks, I believe. I'm not sure what he was actually going for. I'm not sure where the Rocket Angel may have went. The Rocket Angel may have been shot out of the sky. No, there's a Rocket Angel. Rocket Angel has a very powerful secondary ability of a paralyzed whip. Fully disables a unit. In comparison to Terror Drone, rather than just immobilizing it, it will fully disable it. Now we're seeing quite a bit of fire there. Blue's trying to get out some more production, trying to deal with these Naginata cruisers. He just have not deployed any real defense. You have some various heavy armor here. Rock Angel's base forward. Something got killed off there. It looks like a Apocalypse tank. Not sure what primarily. Black Trooper's getting some great damage there, and the Rock Angel does go down to the multi-gun turret. Black Troopers just gunning away, getting some great damage there. Two of them now fully heroic. Green space is not being gutted. Red is a base forward of a massive wave of flak Twin Blades, but flak does AoE damage, and we do have a lot of flak here. Blue deployed a lot of flak. These Twin Blades are getting ripped apart. You got the Apocalypse tank. Yeah, this Apocalypse tank may just look at the Harpoon. The Harpoon does, I think, offer better damage against buildings. I could be mistaken about that. And the Apocalypse tank does go down. Red just lost his Air Force. Blue or green just lost everything. I think it's back to the game, seeing this is no longer green. And orange is the Empire player, and he has allied war factories. More Rock Angels does get gunned down the air. And these V4s are getting infected as well. Another infection there. Does take out the Chopper PX there. Down south, looks like Shogun battleships make the advance. He needs to push forward and then rotate sideways to get some broadsides. And now the ore refinery does go down. Do got a good number of flak troopers in this region, and signals are a good way to keep them supported as well as prevent crushes. More terror drone infects. We do have both yellow and blue now base force and Apocalypse tanks. Yellow has a great escort as well. Blue doesn't have much of an escort. That says teammates Twin there. Bullfrogs do spot these allied power plants controlled by the Empire player. It does finish off that ore collector now. Orange still just producing a navy. Hasn't really pushed out onto land. And now we've got these power plants going on down. The main gun of the hammer tanks does do more damage, and you can't just claim the power plant with your hammer tank. That's not how that works. And now you have 4 Shogun battleships. He's not making use of the broadside, which is a very big problem. We've got the Summer tanks now receiving quite a bit of fire. And Striker VX is now advanced forward, gets some good damage there onto the Mecha Tank Goose. It does get transformed as well, since he got transformed off. Now his Chopper VX is engaged with impunity. A lot of rockets running on in. Needs to deal with that Striker VX there, but got a single Jet Tengu in the air. Now we've got a bigger wave of Jet Tengus coming in to advance. Orange still has quite a bit of navy here, not pushing forward. Peacekeeper getting gunned down by these various heavy armor. You have an ore refinery there. Great broadside there onto the hammer tank. Now the Apocalypse tanks will see the next broadside. Needs some great damage to there. The Apocalypse tank could try to push its way forward, use the Harpoon, and that could potentially instantly kill the Shogun battleship, because once it hits land, it will instantly die. Looks like we've got a bit of toxin corrosion right there. Got these Stingrays advanced forward. Does have a ram maneuver there, gets good damage. And we got a mass discharge there, gets great damage. Got a ram maneuver. And there goes those Stingrays. Sea Wings getting a lot of free damage there onto these Jet Tengus, taking them mostly out. And now the Shogun battleships will gun down the rest of them. Final Squadron Omega now being deployed on the field. Got the MiGs, they get some damage there, but I'm not sure where the Final Squadron is going. Got these. Ooh, that Final Squadron does get some decent damage there. Takes out one of the Shogun battleships. They do land at sea. And those rocket engines will go down. Over here, we've got the MiG fighters and the twin blades advancing forward. Let's take out one of those. What's called sickles there. Black Trooper trying to fire up the air, gain some decent damage in. Satellite does say hi. Does take out the ore collector there. Bullfrog's advancing forward. Gets a great smash team there, but mostly hitting those MiGs. Twin blades are seeing quite a bit of fire there, but it looks like all the Black Troopers will go on down. Bullfrog still hitting the MiGs. Now we've got a single MiG by blue. Got a single Javelin Troop here with Empire Javelin Troop. These twin blades are not seeing a bit more fire there. Bullfrogs advancing forward. They should annihilate these twin blades. Twin blades are almost down. The two of the twin blades will manage to escape on out there. A lot of veterancy onto these Shogun battleships. One heroic, one elite, one veteran. Final Squadron actively employed on out. And we're seeing a lot of flak fire there, so most of those Final Squadrons did not actually land. Only one actually landed. And now we got the refinery core going on down. Twin blades are advanced forward, gains some big damage there. Does take out, well, I'm not sure what that was. We got now a Desolator strike raining on in, trying to stop these guys from falling back. Oh, wait, those are balloon bombs now flying, coming down from the sky. Gets a good hit there on some of those Black Troopers. Black Troopers are getting quite wounded, but some are quite veterans, so they will get some nice healing. In fact, most of those infantry forces are actually veteran, if not fully heroic. And that also just looks like a level 1 balloon bombs. Orange's Navy is still not advanced forward. Orange need to advance a bit more aggressively with his Navy. He has such a massive Navy, but currently been doing nothing most of the game. Yellow's advancing forward now with various armor and infantry support. We got a heading for wall segments here. Does deploy out some flak troopers with the bullfrogs there. And now the Apocalypse Saints do crush those walls, no problem. We got elite hammer tank here for defense. Go for the harpoon now. Do not pass on any veterans to the Apocalypse Tanks. Harpooning down most of these structures, tying up the construction yard, can no longer pack on up. And Red's MCP does go down, and Red's base is getting overran. Orange Navy's now advancing down south, as Red's base is getting fully gutted. Cool sub now sneaking on in, but we'll see fire from the Naginata cruisers as well as the Yari mini subs. We also know we have King Oni hit the point of Orange, a little bit too late for that. Let's get a good full charge there. Only King Oni are now infected. King Onis are mostly elite. Now got a fully heroic Apocalypse tank there, using high explosive rounds there. He does not have a strong enough satellite for that these King Oni. You need a max out satellite to pick up King Oni among other heavy units. His King Oni is also wounded. This Apocalypse tank should be able to clean them on up, but we'll see quite a bit of fire. But no, the Wave Force artillery managed to get a full charge shot there. Now the flak troopers will actually finish up everything. Red is now out of the game. Blue, cyan, and yellow are still all in the game, and so plenty of infrastructure Orange is still not being impressive enough with his Navy, in my opinion. Now you got Eureka Omega deployed out on the field. Rock Angels do go down and does take out that Chopper VX, or Striker VX. Infantry being juggled around. The Eureka Omega has support of King Oni. Doesn't finish off that take buster there, or does. What was the scream right now? There we go. Just deal with the take busters, and the Eureka Omega does get gunned down by the Twin Blades. Naginata Cruiser does get some good damage there. Do also have a couple of Yard mini subs here for support, one of them fully heroic. Good volley there onto that a cool sub there. The Shogun Battleship getting some good damage on off. But torpedoes do connect with that C-wing there, and the fully heroic Shogun Battleship will get infected. This has a good number of cool subs in this region. Yellow could advance forward in the Orange's base now. And it looks like Orange's base is not looking too well. It looks like there was a final squadron right there. And speaking of final squadron, we got another final squadron to go out this time onto Cyan sub. We got balloon bombs as well. And there's also a Psionic Decimator here. A little bit forward, I would say. And Orange is back out of the game now. This is Grade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.